Today we are bringing all of the MMA news straight to you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels and welcome back to everything that you missed in MMA this week. This is where we cover all of the news, guys, besides stuff that of course have already gone by, like, hey, this happened in a fight. We're going to be taking a look at what the MMA community's been talking about, what's kind of flowing around the MMA world. Let's get straight into it, guys, with arguably the biggest news of the week. I want to take you over to Dustin Poirier's Twitter. The Last Dance, let him know. Dustin Poirier said that he wants to have one more UFC fight before he calls it quits. There was a lot of call-outs that he made. He wants to fight Conor. He doesn't want to fight Chandler. He wants to fight Islam Makhachev. He's thinking about fighting at 170. Makhachev straight up said no thank you, which is hilarious, but Dustin Poirier does have that itch to fight again. I personally think that he's going to go out like BJ Penn. He's going to go out the way Alexander Volkanovski might go out in the future, but hey, we can hope for the best. Let's continue on over to MMA Orbit, guys. There has been this week a pound-for-pound rankings update. Number 1 being Islam Makhachev. Number 2, debuting in the top 3, we have Alex Pereira, and number 3, John Jones. I'm shocked, to be honest with you, that John Jones hasn't thrown a fit about this yet. I was kind of looking forward to it. I wanted to make a video on it, but hey, I still don't know what I would personally do with the pound-for-pound rankings. I don't know if I would put John Jones in there, Alex Pereira in there with John Jones and Islam Makhachev. I still believe that John Jones should be completely absent from the pound-for-pound rankings because of how openly of a cheater he is. Everybody knows, and I think it should disqualify him completely. So it's interesting, though. Alex Pereira, number 2. Islam Makhachev definitely deserves to be number 1 as of right now, though, in my opinion. But guys, let's continue on to probably, again, one of the biggest topics of the week, because we have a clip from the press conference at the UFC subreddit over here. This was one of the biggest trending posts in the UFC community this week. Adesanya still hasn't learned how to trash talk, and it's of course the clip that's been going everywhere with Dricus du Plessis.
Never discredited anybody, but quite frankly, I don't really care about how it rubbed him off the wrong way.
And he's actually, like, I know people have been recently talking about Dricus du Plessis being a gaslighter, and I kind of see it. I kind of get it, man. I kind of get it.
I don't really give a fuck where he's from, but I'll show him who he is.
Yeah, whatever that means.
See, it's so good. It's so simple. It's so simple to get under Adesanya like that. Yeah, like whatever that means. And it's kind of true because, like, what did he say again? Wait, hang on. Come on.
I don't give a fuck where he's from, but I'll show him who he is.
Like, what is that, Izzy? It's so funny, dude. It's so easy. And Dricus du Plessis is, like, low-key good on the mic for that. So I love it, man. But let's continue on over to MMA Orbit yet again. Charles Oliveira's coach, Diego Lima, has told AJ Fight that the former lightweight champion will 100% fight again this year. They believe that they could get a shot at the lightweight title given the current suspension of Arman Tsarukyan. I don't think that Charles Oliveira deserves a title fight at all. If you're going to give it to somebody, give it to Gamrot. Maybe you could do Max Holloway. At least he's coming off a win against a top contender and a dominant win in that. But Charles Oliveira, as much as I love him and as much as I would love to see him fight Islam Makhachev again, that is an absolute insult to the division. 100,000%. He does not deserve it. I don't know who I'd want to see him fight, though. Honestly, a Max Holloway rematch would be pretty good. I would really like to see that. But let's continue on over to the fight announcements, guys, which I will not be bringing up for you because I just have an entire list over for you. So I'm going to fire off all these fight announcements for you, okay? We have Kai Kara France versus Steve Erceg at UFC 305. Junior Tafa versus Walter Walker at UFC 305. Jack Jenkins versus Gavin Tucker at UFC 305. Josh Kalibau versus Ricardo Ramos at UFC 305. Jose Nunez versus Jacqueline Cavalanchi at UFC Vegas 96. Michelle Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez at Nosh UFC. Shamil Gaziev versus Dontel Mays at UFC Abu Dhabi. Li Jing Liang versus Carlos Prates at UFC 305. Andre Lima versus Felipe Dos Santos at UFC Vegas 97. Yasmin Yaragui versus Ketlin Souza at Nosh UFC. Shara Lampos Grigoru versus Toshimo Kazama at UFC Vegas 95. Edgar Sherez versus Kevin Borjas at Nosh UFC. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne at Nosh UFC. And Jermaine Durandamy versus Nora Cornell at UFC Paris. Now, that is a lot of fights to break down. Now, honestly, I would love to make a video kind of doing an early prediction for all the fights coming up. That'd be like a banger video, dude. That would be a banger video, to be honest with you. But anyways, like Kai Kara France versus Steve Erceg, Jack Jenkins being back, Michelle Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez is a fantastic fight. I find it hilarious that at this point when Shamil Gaziev is fighting, I think is it Lucas Tracy's fault? I think it might be because I immediately think of Shamil the Blob Gaziev fighting, and then he's just become a meme. a UFC heavyweight has just become a meme. Li Jingliang's coming back. Andre Lima, I'm excited to fight. Dude, Andre Lima versus Felipe DeSantos is an underrated banger there. Edgar Shares is always fun. I like watching Ode Osborne fight. There has been a lot of really, really good fight announcements. But guys, speaking of things that are really good, I have to bring you back over to the UFC subreddit, okay? Because this has also been trending on the UFC subreddit. I don't know if you guys have seen it for that reason, but you guys gotta check this out, okay? Megan on that Connor pack. Dude, this is so funny, okay? Let me know if you haven't seen this. I haven't seen it myself, okay? Ready?
And what about MVP and Ian Gary? Obviously, there's a lot of back and forth between them, a little bit of bad blood.
Dude, look at that, man. What is that?
MVP and Ian Gary, obviously, there's a lot of back and forth between them, a little bit of bad blood. What's your take on that fight and the kind of lead up to that as well?
I was surprised at the presser. I was a little surprised because we had fighter meetings yesterday and they were really
Now she just sounds exciting, but like, what was that?
I saw Ian's baby was hugging MVP at one point.
Yeah, she's getting a little too excited. Yeah, like she's definitely on something, dude.
Earlier today, and so it was surprising to me. But I think they both like that sometimes to get ready for a fight.
Because that's not typically how she is either, right? Like we know Megan Olivi, she's usually quite professional, especially in this type of setting.
I can't think of a better way to kick off the pay-per-view than that matchup. Stylistically, I'm so intrigued as to who's going to have the upper hand there. They're both long, they're both lanky, they're both great strikers.
Now she's getting a little bit better. So I don't really know what was going on with that, but still at the beginning.
Very elusive, and so I look forward to that matchup so much. It's one of the fights that I'm like most highly anticipating on the whole card.
A little bit overselling, but like take a look at the beginning of this again.
And what about MVP and Ian Gary? Obviously, there's a lot of back and forth between.
Dude, I gotta see these comments, man. Oh boy, okay. No, the same. Did I pause it? Yeah. Ian Gary's baby was hugging MVP. What the hell, man, bruh? What the hell? Oh, for sure, you can tell she's geeking the constant swallowing and jaw movement. I don't like. You know what's funny about this is I have a little bit trouble telling specifically what somebody's on.
I was a little surprised because
I've had a lot of experience with crack. Very long story short. I just realized how that sounded. No, I used to work. Dude, I used to work in an emergency room, and I used to deal with a lot of people that were on crack. I'm kind of more like, I get that they're kind of crazy about it, but I don't understand what has been like what exactly the jaw movements and stuff. I've never gotten used to that. You know what I mean? I just know you kind of get by their behavior, like walking around, the way they're speaking.
See, there's a lot of back and forth between them, a little bit of bad.
But there's little things that I didn't know, and obviously, if you can't tell, I wasn't a doctor or anything. But I find that interesting. I didn't know anything. I got to pay attention more to the jaw movement and the constant swallowing. So I didn't know that about. I'm assuming that top comment's telling the truth there, especially if it got a ton of views over there. Wow. Could you imagine if I just said that and left it at that? But anyways, guys, with that being said, that has been everything that you missed in MMA this week. Thank you very, very much for watching the video. If you guys are interested, check out this video on screen right now where I interviewed Angelo from We Want Picks. We had a great conversation, guys. I will see you over there or in the next video. Take care.